Most people think that learning to read is something that comes automatic, and it doesn't. It's something that has to be taught, and it builds, and you start with one skill and you add and you go up. And it's not something that comes automatic for everyone. For lots of children, it takes time. It takes figuring out exactly where the holes and where those missing skills are and going back and reteaching those skills. RTI stands for Response to Intervention. So our team supports and helps families and students with explicit and systematic reading instruction.
RSA stands for Reading Sufficiency Act. It is known as the third grade retention law, but it covers more requirements than just that. It tells schools how to screen students for reading proficiency, as well as how often they need to be screened, and then tells schools how they need to address those deficits when they're identified. So RSA applies to all students who are enrolled in Oklahoma Public Schools in kindergarten through third grade. Based on their performance on assessments that are required, a student may need fewer interventions and some may need more support, and so that varies based on the student's performance.
The big thing is we need to individualize it. We want to talk to the family. We want to talk to the roster teacher. We want to look at their data and figure out where the struggles specifically are and how that's going to look for that child. Based again on kind of how that child does, if they're one-on-one, if they're in a co-op, if they're doing virtual, because there are different interventions that could help that child based on what that particular child's needs are.
The ideal goal of RSA is to ensure that all students are reading on grade level at the end of third grade. When a deficit is identified, that those students are receiving appropriate instruction so that they have the ability to read on grade level at the end of third grade. If they get through third grade and are still struggling, then RSA requires that the school continue to monitor and provide support until they reach that grade level proficiency, and then beyond that, that continues until the end of fifth grade.
Talk to your roster teacher. Let your roster teacher know that you're concerned, what you're seeing at home, how you're seeing that, what specific skills you're seeing that they're struggling with. And then if your student is a K-3 student, a lot of times you will be invited to that individualized reading plan. And so that I suggest that you bring up those concerns in that meeting with your teacher, that you're concerned about that, and you ask them what appropriate interventions would be for your child and how we can work together as a team to make sure that your child receives appropriate interventions.
So the most important thing is for your child to attend instruction whenever they have meetings with their teacher or meetings with a co-op, whatever that looks like for your child. Attendance is crucial, and then modeling reading at home as often as possible through audiobooks, read-alouds, or at different appointments that you go throughout your day.
This gives them a pathway and a way, and it's never too late. It's never too late. These interventions do work, and they can work, and it takes time. There's not an immediate fix. It doesn't happen overnight. It's all of us working together as a team to figure out what works for a kid and do it and help that kid with the tools so that they have the tools to be successful, because every child has that ability to have those tools. And one thing that a lot of people don't know is almost 95% of the population can learn to read given the right tools and the right instruction.